Today, I'm going to show you how I make ultra-realistic UGC video ads entirely with AI that look like this.
Ready to level up your photo game? Let this app work its magic and turn your pics into pure perfection. Try Starry AI app yourself.
And the best part is you don't need any ad creative or copyright experience to do this. We're going to be using a tool called ArcAds. But before we get into that, we need to nail the most important piece of the puzzle, which is writing a high converting script. Now, I get it, writing scripts can feel intimidating if you're not a pro or you haven't got results in the past. But don't worry, I'm going to show you how you can write scripts with zero experience, step by step. And even better than that, we're going to leverage AI tools like Claude to get the best results possible. So this is Claude. If you haven't used it, then it is super, super useful. It can be a bit of a pain on the free version with usage rights. You can see we've got the professional plan, which we use. I don't think it's got too much difference other than the usage rights. However, this is very, very much superior to ChatGPT, in my opinion, for writing copy. We still use ChatGPT for analysis, research, and all that kind of stuff. But for terms of actually writing ad creative copy and copywriting, Claude is very superior, much more natural, much more human-like, and we found it really, really effective. So we're going to be making ads for Everyday Dose today. You can see this is a mushroom coffee, and the reason I've chosen this is just because it's kind of a well-known brand. It's grown rapidly, and I think a problem solution product is always really fun to make ads for because you can really dive deep into pain points, and they've got a great landing page for me to get lots of research from. I didn't really have to go to third parties. If I was writing ads for this for the agency, I would, but for the purpose of this video, I've got all the information from the landing page as it's really, really informative. So first of all, in Claude, we're going to start with making a good hook. The hook is obviously the most important part of the ad, so we're going to put a bit of focus on creating a hook first. This is your first impression. It's like the thumbnail of a YouTube video. If you can get your hook targeted from 30% to 60% and you're targeting the correct people, then it doubles your chance of getting results. Now, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeing a hook as a vanity metric, adding a meme at the start of your ad and getting a 60% hook rate and then wondering why your ad isn't converting. So if you keep your hook targeted, put a lot of focus on it, then you can get the best results. Very important you put some focus on the hook. So that's what we're going to be doing first. So I'm going to add the first prompt. Now, if you want access to the prompt list, then stick around to the end and I'll let you know how you can get it. This first prompt is for hook, and we're going to be focusing on the hook first because it's the most important part of the ad. If you can keep your hook targeted and get it from 30 to 60%, then it literally doubles your chance of getting results. So very important that you focus on hooks. You see, we've got 13 examples. We give it a little bit of a prompt here regarding what we want. And then we just let it know that we want it to tell us that it understands. Perfect. So it understands. We're going to send over our second prompt now, which is going to be creating the UGC ad hooks. So let's run through these and see if any are worth using. I used to spend $15 on fancy coffee until I discovered this $2 superfood hack. I like that one. Why my nutritionist told me to stop drinking matcha and try this instead. The real reason you're tired isn't what you think. That's pretty cool. Three things happened when I swapped my morning coffee for this super food blend. In these hooks, we're really just looking for the most simple hook possible. Now, I'm not putting too much focus on the script because the main focus of this video is to show you the AI generated videos. But in terms of the hook, they are super important. That's why I wanted to put this in here. So we're looking for something that are really maybe emotional, curiosity, and they're maybe using numbers and they're simple. So you don't need to get too smart with your hooks. Just try and communicate what you want as efficiently, shortly, and simply as possible across to the target audience. So we've narrowed these 13 hooks down into 7. In my next prompt, I'm going to include these 7 hooks and let Claude know to choose between one of them for the brief. So this next prompt is huge. I'm going to run you through it because I think it's a great prompt and it'll give you some good indication on how you can create prompts in the future. So we ask it to act as a master copywriter and marketer. Think like him, reply like him, and create a successful UGC ad script. We give it some information on what the product does and who the target audience is. So there's multiple people who will fall within the target audience for this brand. We've gone for busy, health conscious individuals who are 18 to 45 who struggle with low energy, poor focus, or fitting wellness into their hectic schedules. We've gave it some criteria for the video, 25 to 45 seconds, and we want each cut to be no longer than 3 to 4 seconds, preferably shorter. use short lines because it's a Facebook ad creative to sell our product. We don't want it to be long-winded, and there's obviously a big focus on the hook as well here, which we'll get into later. Keep it clear and straightforward, no jargon. This is super important. A lot of people using AI for the first time will let AI go crazy and corporate and just really using lots of jargon. This is the opposite of good marketing. Marketing is simple, clear, getting the desired outcomes, getting the pain points across in the most simple way possible for people to understand. A mentor that we used to use for copywriting used to tell us speak at grade 3 to 5 language in your ads, and it's very difficult. You can use tools online to help you dumb down your language, because a lot of people who are watching your ads, probably at home, chilling on the side, eating their dinner, watching TV. If things get too complicated, they're just going to scroll straight past. Now, just to continue down, so there's a few other prompts, kind of into the tone that we want to use and what the goal is. And we also give 3 examples of winning scripts. So 1 from everyday dose and 2 are from competitors. So this is super useful as well, because it gives it real live examples of ads that have done well. So I got these 3 scripts. This is from Everyday Dose, and this is the most used hook from Everyday Dose in 2024. And this is the same for Space Goods and for Rise Coffee, I believe. So you can see these are the most used hooks from last year. So it gives you a really good idea of what is working well and what to do in their ad as well. Now I'll give it the 7 hooks that we've created there, so it has a choice. And the reason I didn't just do 1, because sometimes it might force a bad script into it. So I want to give it a good choice and allow it to some freedom there. Then also, I've included all the details, price points, free gifts on here. So 40% off, 5 free gifts in the starter kit, the discount, risk reversals, any guarantees, key ingredients, and 3 customer testimonials. Then I've also added at the end, before answering, I want you to ask for any additional information you need to produce that best response possible. Now, I've tried to give it all the information, so I doubt it will ask for any more. However, this is always good to add into your prompts. I could have used this in the previous prompts as well, but it's super useful because you know you're going to get the best response possible. So let's send it and see what we get. So there's 5 key questions that Claude have answered here to ensure that they make the most effective script possible. Let me answer them now and I'll come back. So these questions are great. If you are actually making ads for Everyday Dose, this would be perfect. So they asked if they wanted us to include B-roll in the script. I said yes, just to see. I think it'll be interesting. Is there any specific health claims that we should avoid? I put no, there probably are, but for this instance, it doesn't really matter. The primary pain point we should focus on, I've said energy crash from regular coffee. I'm just presuming that this is the biggest kind of target audience. Whereas if I was doing this for real, we would be using previous ads to make that decision. They've probably got winning ads in the ad account that are performing best, and we'd figure out what pain point that's targeting and then use that one. For the free gifts, they're interested in exactly what the free gifts were. Do you have any specific conversion metrics or CTR benchmarks from previous successful ads that could help guide the approach? So if you actually had that from the ad account, you would definitely be adding it in. And is there a specific demographic within the 18 to 45 range? And I've said no YouTubes, but again, if you were writing this script, you would be using the ads in the ad account to make sure that you're getting the best results possible. So you'd figure out who the best target audience is based off the winning ads in the ad account. So reverse engineer the ads, look at your strategy, say who's the target audience, what was the angle, and then you'd use that to answer the questions here. So the final script is done. I think it looks great. It looks super effective. Now, if you're doing this for real, you would be using your research, your previous experience, and ads within the ad account to make changes to this brief and this script to make it perfect. However, for this example, I think this will do just fine. I'm not going to read it out. I'm going to put it into Arcads now, and you can hear it for the first time from our UGC AI creator. So here we are inside of Arcads. There's a few nice features in here. We've got speech to speech, so you can actually just drag and drop an audio clip in here and it will generate your AI video from there. We're going to be using text to speech, so we can input our script, which I've just copied over from Claude, and we can generate it here. So once we've got our script in here, we can go ahead and select which actor we want to work with. Now, I'm going to go with female and adult based on the product, and we're just going to go for someone who's in a relaxed setting in their house. So potentially Tiffany or Victoria. Let's look at Victoria. Let's select Victoria. So now we've selected the actor, we're going to go ahead and play with the voice filters. We have some select settings that we usually go with. Let's listen to it now and see how it sounds.
Three things happened when I swapped my morning coffee for the superfood blend. I used to crash hard after my morning coffee.
Okay, so that sounds pretty decent, but we just want to speed it up a little bit. And we usually bring the stability down to 2, about this, or maybe a little higher. So I've changed it to 1.2 and 0.25 stability. It sounds much better.
Three things happened when I swapped my morning coffee for this superfood blend. I used to crash hard after my morning coffee.
That's a perfect speed. It was a little bit slow. It sounds perfect now. So let's generate the video and see how it turns out. Now, whilst we wait for that video to generate, I'm going to walk you through my 3 biggest use cases for ARC at the agency. So the first one is when we need to make quick edits or quick adds into the ad account. So UGC creators on average take 5 days to return content from when you share the briefs to receive the product. It's generally around 5 days, 3 days if you're lucky. Sometimes this can be too long when we're waiting for creators and we just want to get new ads into the ad account. We've had some great ideas, we're seeing some winning angles, and we really need to build up it quickly in the ad account. For example, if it's Father's Day, if it's Mother's Day, Black Friday, something like that, you just don't have the time to wait for creators to turn around ads. So during holiday periods, Christmas, etc., it's a really good time to be using ARC ads to get quick edits into the ad account. The second point is mashup ads. Now, these are really effective for us at the agency. This is where you have multiple creators within one ad. So for mashup ads, it works really well. You can use green screen, you can just have them quickly on screen, and there's less of a focus on that one single creator. So it works really well having ARC ads creators in there because you're saving money on the price. You obviously don't have the delay, and you can make a load of mashup ads with multiple creators. So what we do is when we have existing footage from multiple creators, we'll put this all together with ARC ads creators as well to create UGC mashups. And the final point is testing new blocks of ads. So we like to break down our ads into blocks. For example, you could have the hook could be a block, the call to action could be a block, and so on. So when you just want to test a new quick thing, you can test it using ARC ads creators. For example, adding a quick new hook on, you found a winning hook with another ad, you want to test a slightly different one to try and build off it, you can add that in. A call to action, for example, you've got a creator to record a whole ad, and the call to action, you won't get the click-through rate you want, but you've got the hold rate, you've got the hook rate, everything looks good. You can test a new call to action with an ARC ads creator, and the same with hook. If you've got an amazing hook or a hook that's not performing well, you can do some chopping and changing to add an ARC ads creator hook within there, and it works really, really well. You can see with all 3 of these examples, it's when we have existing content. So once you've built up a library of B-roll footage and extra content, raw footage from UGC creators, this is a perfect point to be able to add in ARC ads creators within there. So the video has generated. Let's take a look and see how it looks.
Three things happened when I swapped my morning coffee for this superfood blend. I used to crash hard after my morning coffee. Then I discovered Everyday Dose. Just one scoop contains lion's mane and chaga mushrooms, mixed with clean coffee extract and collagen protein. First, my energy stayed stable all day. Second, my focus became razor sharp. Third, I'm saving $300 a month on fancy coffee runs. Right now, get 40% off plus 5 free gifts. That's just 90 cents per cup. Plus, it actually tastes amazing. Try it risk-free for 45 days. Trust me, your brain will thank you.
Now that was great. Would you use that ad by itself? Definitely not. But if you chop that up with B-roll content and raw footage that you've got, then this will be a really effective ad. I love the angle that it's got. Very hard to tell that it's a UGC creator. I think this was really effective. I think they even had the hand gestures, the tone was perfect, the script was pretty good as well. So as I said, you wouldn't use this alone, but chopped up with different UGC creators potentially, or different UGC footage, raw footage, B-roll content, it'd be really, really effective. If you enjoyed this video, then you'll absolutely love the video that I'm popping up on screen right now. It's 43 minutes long AI UGC training course from ad creative research, script writing, hook writing, static ad headlines, generating these creators, generating 11 lab voices. Everything is in there. It's super useful. There's over 28 prompts that you can use. Just go ahead and watch that video now. And if you want access to the prompt list that I used in this video, then join my newsletter using the first link in the description below and reply to the email saying AI prompt list, and I'll send over the prompt list from this video in a Google Doc for you to use.